And the fourth and final development stream kicked off with a bang. Well, more or less. But there were a lot of cool things shown off by their coding team, making it my favorite stream of them all. This video will summarize their main points with highlights from the stream, and I'll break it down into individual videos following this one to cover items in more detail. A huge thanks to Lathan, Robert and Sean for taking the time to not only show things off, but also talk us through what they have done in more detail. First up, Robert talked about the map generation, which has been improved and updated. It should generate a fair bit faster and using less RAM, as this was a continual problem with generating big maps in the past. Many couldn't even generate a 10K map, let alone 12K, without the game freezing and crashing, me including at times. A part of the improvement was to smoothen out the roads as well as have them run up over mountains, and we can now see mountain-based POIs. Awesome! The new ability to start a new game directly from the map generation screen is also a great quality of life feature. Another feature that made its way into Alpha 20 actually was the different preview grids, with lower ones giving less information such as just the outlines of POIs, whereas the higher one would include much more details including the actual POI that has been generated. Very helpful.
And some of these roadsides will have traders, and there's quite a few more traders in the world now than there were before. And we try to guarantee one every kilometer and a half or so, just to make sure, you know, y'all have plenty of places to go questing. And there's a lot more wilderness prefabs in the world now, but they're kind of spread apart where it's not going to be like 3 prefabs in one little tiny spot, but just, you know, they try to stay away from each other more. And a lot of them you'll find up in mountains. Yeah, so I'd just get way up there in the sky where you can look around and kind of find some paths up here in the mountains. They lead to prefabs. Generally, there's quite a few of them. And a lot of the wilderness POIs, I try to keep them a little further away from towns, just to kind of give fill in the blank areas more. And then it kind of it makes more sense that they're not grouped up right up against a town.
Second up was the improvements to dismemberment by Steve. This is quite a large topic by itself, but in a nutshell, bladed weapons and blunt weapons have different dismemberment on zombies. In addition, limbs have multiple dismemberment points, such as the whole leg or partial leg, or arms, or even the head, not for the squeamish. Along with this, they have now included up to 20 zombie types which have dismemberment enabled, so you will be seeing a lot more of this in Alpha 21. The feature has also been implemented for explosions, so expect grenades, and especially mines, to take out legs and create crawlers. Much more realistic.
Did you want me to do the TDS command?
Yes, we can show off the TDS there. Of course, this is going to be weapon dependent on how well you've spec'd into it now for your dismemberment chance. And so if you take a blade and just cut off his left arm there.
There it is.
And then you can also use a blunt now for the right. There will be a slight difference. So if you look at both of those nubs, the one, of course, is going to be not moving around because it's complete cut, but the other one.
Ew.
So it'll jiggle a little bit when you have blunt dismemberments, which is a nice kind of thing that we have added. So he will have a blunt head switch to a blunt weapon.
Okay,
you can cut off.
Yeah, well, I got his head
a
off.
little difference there.
I
he loses a little bit of his hat as well.
This
so
is probably
head
the most morbid thing you all are watching. It's just us blooding up
I
zombies.
hope you all had dinner already.
Sean had a bunch of things to talk through, starting off with the new models for the Forge and Workbench. Included in Alpha 21, the Forge model will see changes as you add an anvil or the bellows or the crucible, which was really needed. It makes it look a lot more distinct and organic as you add the mods. This feature has also actually been implemented on the Workbench, but since there are no mods for the bench, it won't be visible until later alphas. A cool feature which was shown off is how they're making it visually distinctive when something is crafting versus not. For instance, the workbench will glow with lights on when in use and be dormant when not, so you can always tell when it's finished crafting. I think this is really neat. Visually, the reflection of blocks has been updated and improved, making things look better, at the expense of performance of course. Weapon scope zooming has been made more responsive and smoother, and there's now a new scope zoom setting to tweak. And of course, we do get that vehicle update. It's finally here. Now it'll much better ragdoll zombies as you run them over, with mists of blood puffing out as you hit them at speeds. It's also much easier to damage and kill zombies, however, it comes at the expense of higher vehicle damage. Personally, I think the damage is a bit too high, but I'm sure there's going to be mods out there that allows you to tweak it. Also in, but not shown, is that the repairs of the vehicles is now less effective. It will be boosted by the mechanic skill, so you will need multiple repair kits to fix up your vehicle, and each of them also has had tweaks so that going below 25% brings you some sparking, and then you get smoking and fires when the vehicle degrades to 0%. I expect a lot of smoking vehicles in Alpha 21.
So this was shown, some of this was shown briefly before. Unfortunately, it was more the boring part of running your vehicle into walls, which the more interesting part is actually, running over zombies, which was not shown before. So if you use turbo to actually, look at that, some blood spray. So the blood spray is new. There's like a misting effect, and then there's also splatter that okay, I don't know what that was. That was your
No, I jumped.
Kung Fu bike move there.
Yes, I jump kicked her from my bike.
Yeah, so you might want to you might want to just manually spawn some zombies. And I'm not exactly seeing tons of zombies right now in the town to test this on. I just make whatever.
It did quite a bit of damage though. That was like 62 right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see your damage level on your bike. When it gets down to 25%, you guys will see
Let me go
a
to
new
this
effect
one
on the
for a minute.
bicycle where the crankshaft is. As once the bike's below 25% health, it will start sparking. So if Lathan runs into enough zombies and or walls or whatever, you guys can see that's an indicator that the bike is actually, there you go, look at that, your bicycle is having problems.
Oh no.
That actually just got done in the last few days for all the vehicles. You can actually tell that they're braking, and then if you slam your bike into a wall and actually destroy it, you'll see it looks like it's got problems. Almost.
There we go. Oh no. Okay, leave me alone. I'm just trying to show something.
So the bicycle at this point has lost its chain, yeah, it's broken, and which you can tell just by looking at it. It's sparking and or kind of smoking there. It's smoking because you ground up the crankshaft there and ripped up the bearings, and now it's overheated and making smoke. It's a video game, so whatever.
With the new water code also comes improved swimming. It should be faster and give you that sort of momentum as you float and drift in the water. The surface has more visibility from underneath, and more realistically, you'll actually be utilizing stamina whether you're moving slowly or fast in the water. So I expect people will be calling for rafts and boats much more from now on. A related water feature is that zombies finally can spawn in water if there are no valid land blocks available, so building out in the middle of a lake or ocean no longer will keep you fully safe, as zombies will still eventually spawn. Personally, I think this is the wrong move, as if you're out in the ocean, there's just no way that zombies would know and come for you, and this is done only to nerf our base builds in the water. I have for years been showing off water builds as a safe way to make a base if you want to avoid zombies, especially the hordes and blood moon hordes, and I think a nerf here was definitely not needed. But coming back to the zombie AI, remember of how when you die, the zombies will rush your body and feast. This now also applies to animals. So if you shoot down an animal, zombies nearby will have a chance to be attracted and want to eat it, which they will do to blood splatter everywhere, and they will be dealing damage to the animal carcass and finally finish it and resume their search for more brains. Actually, it looks really cool. Collapsing block physics also has been updated, which they showed off by using the development-only nuke grenade. But what it means is that it should perform better while also looking better. So next time you blow up a building with dynamite or rocket or cause the Dishong Tower to collapse, expect it to look even better while doing it. And who doesn't like that? There's also a new terrain tool. It is of course development mode only, but it does allow creators to add or remove terrain as well as change the block types. It works better than the old tool. Nothing I think most people will be using, but for people making custom maps, it should be very helpful. Lathan also ran through his items. We have the Dew Collector, which we have seen before, part of the rebalancing for the water survival aspects. There's the pinning of crafting recipes, also shown, and a mention of the bunch other feature which Lathan has worked on, but which has already been shown off in previous episodes, such as the new book system with learn by looting, the biome and POI hazard indicator, the infestation quest, trader staging, where it will take into account how many quests you've done for the trader when it decides what items it will sell you. A big addition by his Zach Rogers, who actually didn't make it to the stream, is further updates to the Twitch integration system. While only used by streamers, this allows viewers to help or hinder your progress by spawning zombies, giving items, choosing boss fights, and much more. Included in Alpha 21 is that panel to trigger things as opposed to just using chat commands, and it comes with a whole host of new events which are possible. You can have channel point redemption, using the pinpoints or bits for viewers, and reacting to Twitch events such as subscriptions and hype trains. It should play a lot better than previous Alpha 20 versions. While I have been using my own Vanquish Vedui since back in Alpha 17, which actually captured donations and bit usage and subscriptions, stuff like that, then I used Mischief Maker, I do think that the vanilla Twitch integration definitely is a great way to go, as it gives streamers a better way to showcase the game and what you can actually do in it and have viewer engagement. And they did mention that Vermintide 2 was one of their inspirations for implementing this in 7 Days to Die. Oh, and who caught the new Landclaim block look? Did you like what you saw? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe into the channel, and catch me in the next video. Thank you for watching, friends.